My opponent is 2255 Indonesia on chess.com for 5-minute chess. I bring you this game because I found it to be a very tough game to play. I'm not playing a lot of games, so my choices are limited, but this game does stand out from any others. Yesterday I was going to bring you another game, but I might keep that just as a spare in case I can't actually process a YouTube video on OBS. So I might use that maybe at a later date, or maybe it'll be obsolete. So I wish to show you this position, or this game I mean, sorry. I wish to show you this game and I hope you really enjoy it. So my opponent is quite tough on chess.com. The ratings on chess.com seem to be harder to get up there than those on Lichess, but that might be only an opinion. And as mentioned, this is a lovely day here in Dunedin, so I do want to get out for a walk, which is very, very important for you or anyone to have some form of exercise, especially if you want to be reasonable at chess. So here we go. Let's have a look at this. So I cannot pause on this laptop for some reason. It doesn't recognize that as a hotkey, excuse me. So I cannot pause, so normally I would be pausing at my home studio, which is getting better as I speak. Oh, not really, not now, but anyway. And I've got the board round the right way, eh? So here we go. Yes, it is a French, and I am going to play my normal French, especially against a strong opponent from Indonesia. Now I've got the opportunity of developing my knight out to h6. Now play knight f7 just in case I forget that, oh no, bishop takes h6 is possible for white. Whether it's any good or not after knight somewhere away from d2 is another question. g3. Now this is not normal to play in the Tarish, the Habitats variation. This is not a normal way to go for the bishop to g2. It's biting on my d5 pawn from g2, but it's also otherwise biting on my f5 pawn if it goes to the b1 to h7 diagonal. So here is my move, which is bishop e7. Good, David, well done. You're obeying the instructions for opening, which are 3 points really I give as the great grandmasters and masters and FIDE masters and international masters and world champions say. 3 points. And you've got 3 points. So 3 points. The 3 points are, of course, development, king safety, centralization. And there are other things that you can say about the opening too, which are more sort of like kind of subjective parts of the opening process rather than the objective of the opening, which is those 3 points that I've just mentioned. Centralization, in different order of course, centralization, development, and king safety. Try to do them. I know it's hard because I often fail in just doing the simple things. By the way, in transfer chess, which it's called in New Zealand, transfer chess, which has got another name for it, if we place this knight on d3, it's checkmate, isn't it? So in transfer chess, I'm singing out for a knight for my opponent. Have you got a knight? Can you get a knight even if you have to do a queen swap? a queen sack, get me a knight, and it's my move, and I'll place the knight on d3. It's checkmate. This is pretty cool. I love transfer chess, as we call it here. So moving on, bishop e7, bishop g2, as we've already been here, a5. Now, please do not copy these moves at home, because they might not work out very well, because my opponent might let me off on some of these moves that I'm playing, which are not very good, nor is bishop g2 in my opinion. A prophylactic move. Now this is an attacking move. I have to do something about it. Oh no, I can't play g5. I really want to play g5, but guess what? My opponent is not letting me. Knight h6. I've gone back to my initial square again, and my position's gone downhill a wee bit, according to the bar graph. Here it's 0.9 in white's favour, I think, whereas now after knight h6 it goes down to 2.1 in white's favour, so white's doing better, and I think that white is. Knight g5, and unless I see something from the bar graph for the value of white and black, according to Stockfish 15, dramatically change, I won't report it. Here I have to do something about my e6 pawn, or I have to lift that knight on g5. Now if I lift the knight on g5, then white will have an annoying pawn move, maybe to g6, or maybe just have queen h5, because I can't go knight g4 after bishop g5, hd5, knight g4, as f3 wins my knight. So I'd have to go back to f7 or g8 after bishop g5. So I thought better of that. But also, if I do bishop g5, hg5, knight g8 or knight f7, then white would be able to play, especially if I play knight g8, would be able to play queen h5 with the threat of knight g6 checkmate. So I played knight d8, realizing who I'm playing. My opponent's quite good, and I found my opponent was quite good. Bishop f3, rook c8, bishop e3, c4. A move I tried once against the late M. Jackson, but it didn't come to any fruition then. And I think that probably the computer might say bishop d4, but it's got its drawbacks as well as its positives. It's got negatives and it's got positives. So this is possibly a wee bit better. We go bishop b4, just a reactive move really is bishop e7 to b4, bishop d2, now go back again. Well, I bet you that makes the computer freak out. So now I can maybe go here after queen b3, I play rook c6. I'm just looking after my pawn on b6 at least, and rook a c1, contest same, and so I play here bishop c4, which tells the queen to go back somewhere. It can't go forward, of course, and it can't go to a2, a3. So queen b3 to d1. Now, what sort of move would you like to play now? And I'll give you a clue. It's not what Stockfish would say it was great, but I've moved this thing a few times. It is, of course, the knight h horse to f7, and I am now asking for a swap off. knight fh3, and I say, oh, I'm not going to have that sort of swap off, because you're going to end up with your pawn on. And it's now at 0.2 in white's favour, 0.2, 0.3. I played at h6, and I haven't seen anything dramatic, but it's gone back in white's favour again. Oh dear, knight f7, rook f7, that's chess. Bishop h5, or especially the computer, rook f8. Ouch, this knight's going to hop in, or bishop's going to hop into g6. It's becoming a bit of a problem, a bit of a weak spot, a soft spot. Now here, rook g8 on move 28 lives here for the rest of the game, okay? So the rook on g8 stays there. So it's not naughty like my knight is, from g8 to h6 to f7 to h6 to f7. It's not naughty like that. It's a little bit better behaved. This is a better position for white, according to Stockfish. And to be honest, I like to be honest. To be honest, here I was going to do a pre-move of if rook takes rook c6, I was going to go queen c6 pre-move, and I said no on my phone. It's on my phone without my reading glasses or spectacles. Ha ha ha. G4. So, but then I thought no, I'll take it, the rook on c6 from white with my knight. So I'm still defending my bishop e7. So all that aside. Now, did I play knight c6? Because if I play knight c6 here, it's a blunder. If I play knight c6 now, it's a big blunder because of what? Rook takes knight, c6, queen takes rook, knight takes e7, and black is lost. Bishop d3. Now the bishop is not a bad bishop. You know, is that a good bishop? It's not bad. It's reasonable. And now it's 1.1 in white's favour, or 0.9. 1.1. Here's queen g3, sort of side swiping threat of taking my bishop d3, and then it would be curtains, so I played bishop f5. Just watch that rook g8. Bishop f8. Now comes my opportunity. Now I'm looking at the threat of, has white got any threats of bishop g6 and queen g6 check? Do you think that's a problem for black? Long term, in a match game, it might be really bad for black. But however, I have 50 seconds left. My opponent has 1.01 seconds left. 1 minute 01 second. So I've got 50. I'm a little bit behind. So in this game, I start thinking, well, it's getting into the end game. So I'm going to take the a4 pawn. Now I threaten, of course, queen d4, capturing yet another pawn. Bishop g6. This might be no good for white. No, black. Bishop g6. Queen g6, king h8. Knight e6. Fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. Knight e6. Queen e6. I don't even know if I've got the grid thing proper. I might be wrong. It's actually 2.6 in black's favour now. So don't know if I'm reading the computer consult much or very well. Here's queen d4. This threatens queen h4, queen f2, queen d2, queen b2. Doesn't really threaten queen b2. but it threatens queen f2 or queen d2 or queen h4. Here's bishop e3, queen h4 as promised. King g1. So, what now? Queen g4 check? No. Queen g5 check? No. Queen g3 check? No, not a check. It was d4. Now comes rook c4. I'll move rook c4 is move 42 for white. What should black do after rook c4? Rook c4. Here I played simply bishop c5. See, the rook is still on g8. It's waiting to come into action. It's actually like I'm playing a rook down. Queen d7. Oh, I made a mistake. I was wrong. I didn't realize. I haven't looked at this game since I played it. I actually play rook d8. Sorry, but that rook has been quiet. But maybe I'm saying, well, I've got this rook, I might as well use it. Ah. Now I get out of the way of the pin of my queen with the rook, with queen h5, and I'm also wanting to play moves like queen d1 check, or just pawn takes bishop, of course, or d3. So I've got a few things up my sleeve here, and now my opponent's got 15 seconds and I'm ahead with 18.5. Bishop f4, and then you can finish this game off. I'm sure you can. It's a very easy move to see, and it is, of course, move 45, d3, and my opponent had 8.7 seconds left, and then the game was, he ran out of time. It's a wee bit hard for white to do anything now. There's no perpetual check with the queen for white once the rook leaves the back rank, and there's also great material lost to white. So I hope you enjoyed this session today. I bid you farewell from sunny Dunedin, New Zealand, and I love being here in Dunedin. It's a bit colder than home, generally speaking, or more wet, I'll say, sometimes. But I've been enjoying a great time here with my mother, and also that of my sister, who's just been great to see while I'm here in Dunedin. So I thank you very much for watching this chess channel. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you got a lot out of it, or at least something. Thank you for now. Bye.